Crepuscular rays are always a beautiful sight to see. Sometimes they streak across the top of the clouds, and sometimes they shine down almost straight down to the ground from the clouds. Why do they look so different in different situations? And what makes them visible in the first place? The reason why you can see crepuscular rays is due to scattering. This is a process by where particles in the air, and the air itself, reflect small amounts of light in all directions. This leaves a trail of scattered light which can be seen. If the air were perfectly transparent, you would not be able to see any streaks. Crepuscular rays appear to diverge. This is simply due to perspective. The basic principle of perspective is that if something is closer to you, it appears larger, and if something is farther away, it appears smaller. Specifically, the apparent size of something is inversely proportional to the distance from you. All this means is that if something's twice as far away, it looks half the size. If something's 5 times closer, it looks 5 times larger. So what happens with these rays? As the rays go down to the ground, they also go closer to you. This is because if the sun is in front of you, the rays are going down to the ground at an angle. The part of the ray which is closer to the ground is closer to you, and the part of the ray which is coming out of the cloud is farther from you. This means that the part of the ray that is farther from you will appear smaller, and the part of the ray that is closer to you will appear larger. Take a look at this tape I've put on the ceiling. The tape is equally spaced all the way down the ceiling. But if I go to one end of the room and look across the tape, the lines appear to diverge. This is because the tape that's closer to me looks bigger than the tape that's farther away. Also, the space between the tape looks bigger when you're closer and looks smaller when you're farther away. Again, this is the basic principle of perspective. Things that are farther away look smaller, and things that are closer to you look larger. So this is why crepuscular rays always appear to diverge. However, they don't always diverge in the same way. If you're very far away from a crepuscular ray, the part of the ray coming from the cloud and the part of the ray that hits the ground are both far away from you. The part of the ray that hits the ground is only somewhat closer, so it doesn't appear to diverge very much. However, if you're closer to the rays, the part of the ray coming from the cloud is somewhat far away, and the part of the ray coming down to the ground, or even moving across the clouds if it doesn't actually hit the ground, as in with a sunrise or sunset, this part of the ray is much closer to you, which means it appears to diverge much more. The only time you would see crepuscular rays that go straight down to the ground would be if the sun is directly overhead. And this only happens at certain times of the year at midday in the tropics.